Hey, and welcome to a little chat between Sally and myself.
Yes, Range Rover Sessions, maybe we call it.
Yeah, I think we've used that one before.
Oh, we
Maybe
have.
we've got to get a new one.
Yes.
So we're driving around Noosa at the minute, and we were having a great conversation, and so much so that we thought, hey, let's stop. We've got, you guys can't see it, but there's a beautiful view of the ocean
We actually
over
positioned the car specifically so we could get the beach in the back, but you can't even see it. So
yeah, doesn't matter.
that's really cool.
But what we wanted to talk about, I suppose, is like success.
Yes.
And not hey, how do you be successful? Because success is, varies for different people. I don't think anyone's really ever successful. But how do you improve your level of success and your confidence in that? And there's some things that we've done over the years that we feel really work for us, and they might not work for everyone, but we wanted to talk about some of those and kind of share and let you in on what's really worked for us.
I think you have to know what success is for you, firstly. And understand that it's more than the finances as well. It's how you want to, I think, live your life. And I think success is also a choice. We choose to be successful. We choose success at every level. And that's what I think defines the people who are really want it and who are really committed to, not for anyone else, but for themselves and for the life that they actually want to create for themselves. This is bigger than business. We teach business and we teach personal brand and marketing, all that sort of stuff, but this is actually success, as I said, is a choice. And it's aligned to the lifestyle that you want to create. Martin and I, we designed our life, and we've always designed our life at every single level, even very early on. People used to think that we were really weird.
Yeah, for sure. And we've done podcasts on this and stuff, we used to have a whiteboard in the living room, everyone could see it, and at the time I just started my business. Sal hadn't started hers, and it was like, the big one on there at the time was the $1 million, and everyone was like, you're never going to do that. And it's like, okay, cool, go against me, that's fine, but we're going to get there. And obviously goals grow, but one thing I want to say is, it's always been lifestyle design for us. It's how can we create a lifestyle. Now originally that was leaving work, and then it was about kind of
living in a rental that costs X amount. And
I want to kind of touch on that, because this isn't what we recommend for everyone, by the way, but this is what's worked really well for us, and we don't talk about this very often. But something Sally and I have done is we've always probably put ourselves in negative situations to allow ourselves to grow. We've consistently paid mentorship over and to multi 6-figure levels. It will go to 7 figures in mentors alone. We have lived in apartments that at the time, this was even when we were working, by the way. Okay, when I was still in job, Sal was still in job, we lived in an apartment we couldn't afford, because that was the stretch we needed for one of us to go and make more money. And then we've lived in apartments, and again, when I say couldn't afford, we had the money for them, but they stretched us to new levels. Talking about living in $1,000, $2,000 a week apartments that stretch us so much that we have to go and make the money. And again, we've consistently done that. We've on all levels, holidays, restaurants, because that's what triggers us, is lifestyle. Okay,
that's what exactly. And I think earlier on, when Martin said some people saying, you're never going to make $1 million, some people don't even get past there. Some people are so wrapped up in what their world and people around them are saying, and that's contributing to their maybe lack of drive or ambition or scared of standing out. And that's the first step. You got to get through that. That's what we were like, nah, we got each other. This is what we want. This is how we want it to look like. And people can say things, and that's cool. We're going to move through. And then it was like we wanted to live a certain way. And as Martin said again, we put ourselves into really uncomfortable situations, because part of being successful is actually living into that success, and however you decide to do that is on you. But for some people that can be really risky, illogical, uncomfortable. What we've done so many people would think all of those words. They would think that is so stupid. Why would you even do that? But because we were preparing for it, we're living into the lifestyle, and we're always doing that. Even now, like, we're always living into the next level, because that's how you get there. Some people are looking at, you know, ways to start a business, and, you know, ways to, I don't know, add premium clients. Obviously, if that's what you need help with, we can help you. But it's so much bigger than that.
Yeah.
It's what premium clients or what high ticket is able to help you achieve and get there faster. But what is that? What is that destination for you? And
even, you know, we've got some clients, and want to give them a little shout out. Eddie and Ali, like, you know, we've got some huge goals with them. You know, they're now at the 100K a month mark.
Yep.
And, you know, they were looking at paying a mortgage off over 20 years, let's say. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
But now we're like, cool, how can we do that in 12 months?
Yes.
Okay. How can we then, they've got some land they want to build a holiday home on an island.
Yep.
And it's like things like that.
They want to hold retreats for their business, I think, is something that they mentioned.
Exactly. So this is what we're creating here. And why we jumped on the video, as I said, it was just the chat we were having, and I was like, why don't we record this? But it's like, if you really want something, like, go and get it, because
no matter how uncomfortable it is. The thing is that don't, like, discount that uncomfortable level. Like, that uncomfort is a feeling of, hey, there's some fears coming up here. It's not necessarily about trying to understand where those fears are coming from. Most people try and do that and try and overcome it that way. The way to get over those fears is you just go and do it. You're going to get the feedback. You're heading in the direction of the life that you're wanting. Or you figure out, actually, that life is not for me. Or that life is actually not something I'm that committed to. Both powerful decisions. But if we're like a lot of people where we don't make those choices and we don't make those actions, how are we ever going to know? So it's like, don't, you know, everyone feels uncomfortable, but own that. Celebrate that. Because if you're not feeling uncomfortable, you're not growing.
And I think one thing for me is, when you're coming up against a fearful situation, I'm going to give the example of paying my mentor, our mentors, for the first time. Didn't have the cash, had never been asked for so much money in my life before.
Didn't you quit your job beforehand?
I quit my job the week before, and then I had to pay.
While I was on holiday.
Exactly. And, you know, it's a bit of a joke now. But again, like, that was scary, but I was like, no, let's go. And again, kind of quitting your job, and, you know, I didn't have any money. I had $237 left in my bank account, and, you know, Sally didn't earn very much at the time. So again, there was a lot of fears, and then there was fears again as we started to grow. There's fears at every level, but what I find is, I've retreated in fear, by the way, during this journey. Okay, I spent probably about 6 months in fear because I'd hit some financial goals and didn't know how to break the next level. Okay, so I stayed and then retreated. Okay, so I'm not coming at this from a point of view from perfection. I've been there, but what I would say is, when you retreat at fear, you become more disappointed in the long run. Whereas when you actually go forward and start making moves, the fear is actually you're going to get there in the end. The fear is when you're moving at speed and you're moving against the grain of what other people do. That's what fear is for me. And if you're feeling that, it just shows you're making moves. It just shows you're doing something. And I think other people may try and talk you out of things. They may. Here's the thing where I see a lot of people who are already successful but don't get to the next level, because they listen to people who are trying to protect them rather than trying to stretch them. Okay. Whereas very, very blessed, you know, Sal and I, if she's in a space where she needs stretching, I'll do it. Vice versa. Okay. Sally will quite happily kick my ass and
vice versa,
and bring me out of it, because if you don't, and we also have mentors who do the same, by the way, which is really important, but you want to get those people around you if you want to be successful. Like, if you really want to keep striving for something, go and allow that into it.
Because again, like, success and the life that you're working towards right now, it doesn't just it doesn't just happen. You don't just have this one conversation and you're like, yeah, I've seen this dream house, I've seen this dream car, I really want X amount of clients coming through. It's daily recommitment. It's like you're recommitting to that life at every level, and it's uncomfortable because it's a level you haven't been to before. So I think that's just as important, is actually recommitting. So when we hold each other accountable and we're having times, the other person, someone's always neutral. And when someone's down, the other person cannot meet them there. You can get two down people and you ain't going anywhere.
Yeah, and again, we've been in those situations where we're both down.
We've learned this.
And this is why we're saying one of us has to remain neutral. And and here's the thing, like with so I suppose the thing is, like, if you want to break out of the mold, you're in a situation where, you know, longer term, you're going to have to face that fear. But if you want to break out of the mold, what we're not saying here is like, oh my God, it's going to be the worst journey ever. Like, it's going to put you under tension. It's going to put you under tension, but it has to be fun as well, because you have to live into it. Like, you know, we wake up in Noosa every day at the minute, which for those who don't know where it is, it's like it's beautiful amazing resort, and we're looking at the ocean. Like, this was all worth it, you know, like going through the stretch, going through the tension, challenging myself, Sally's self, and going through everything has been totally worth it because of what we've created now. And here's the thing, we are just getting started, which is the exciting part.
We always say that.
We always,
at every next level, we're like, we're just getting started.
Just
we
getting
mean
started.
That, though.
Exactly.
We mean that.
Because what we're not going to do is stop pushing ourselves. And, you know, from the outside, some people have said, you know, it doesn't look like we do very much. And they've said, you know, we make it look really easy, or whatever those phrases are. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. And again, is it hard work? Is it long out? No, it's none of that. But it's it's internal graft, grit, determination, and just a never-ending feeling of there's more on the way. Is how I would put it. Yeah,
knowing that you're always getting to the next level, and know that most people in the world deny themselves because it gets to a certain level of uncomfort. And most people don't get what they most want in life. They don't get the dream lifestyle that they're chasing. So we know that that's not you. We know that you are like us, entrepreneurs, business owners, or
just someone who wants more. If you're watching this video at 12 minutes now, it's like you obviously want more. So go after it if you're not. And if you are, then keep going. And one thing I want to say as well, like, we say this from a selfish...
We have so much to share on this.
On a selfish level, like, as in get help, as in if you need help, get help. Okay, so as Sally and myself, but even outside of Sally and myself, like, don't figure this stuff out yourself. Okay,
it takes way too long.
It takes way too long. Life's too short. We've managed to fast track in the last 5 years 25 years worth of growth, because we've paid for it. We've paid, as I said, multi 6 figures. We'll go to 7 figures very soon. It's like we've just paid for the collapsing of time, and it's like you're trying to figure things out at every level. You're going to lose the fun in your business, because it's possible. We've figured things out, but it's like you're going to lose the fun of the exciting part of the lifestyle, of the growth, of the money, of the serving clients, of the, you know, I suppose the recognition, all these ego things that, by the way, is not wrong. Just because you've got an ego, it's like, lean into the ego. Like, allow it to drive you, because that's what it's there for. Okay, but don't allow your ego of playing small because somebody else has taught you to play small. Don't allow that to come up, because that's where you're going to be hindered instead of use it as growth. Awesome. Absolutely. Thanks for joining us. Great chat. And if you want to see more of these, enter our inbox, and we're more than happy to take some recommendations of what to talk on next. But thanks for joining us, and speak to you soon.
Speak soon.
Bye.